Hey you, so I've been asked if I could do this video regarding reselling your precious metals. So I'm going to do a video here on the top 6 tips that I've used when selling my precious metals. So on this video, I'm going to focus mainly on reselling to dealers or coin stores, as that's what I've done the most of my selling area in. I will touch upon the secondary market, i.e. the auction sites, at a later date. So this video is mainly going to focus on reselling your precious metals back to a coin dealer or an online coin store. So if anybody else could chime in the comments on some tips that they've used that's worked in their favor, it'd be great if you could do that. So I'll jump straight into this. So tip number 1 that I would say is shop around. So shopping around, i.e. contacting as many dealers as you're able to, is going to get you the best chances of getting the best price. Now, it may sound so obvious, but a lot of people have told me that they've either gone to their coin store or tried the store that they purchased the goods from, not being able to get any results, and then being stuck in the mud. So I would say definitely shop around when you're looking to sell your precious metals, whether it be collector coins or bullion coins. And you know, as I'll touch on some of the tips coming up, we'll take it from there. But I'd say shop around would be the most important thing, number 1. That way there, you're going to find the best options, get the best options, and put it out to the best possibilities of getting the best prices back. So tip number 1 is going to be shop around. So tip number 2 for selling your precious metals is going to be go global. The world has become a smaller place as we've become more connected via the net, via the internet. So the world is your oyster. The world is your selling opportunity right there. So when I say that, I'm in the UK, and I've been in conversations with dealers in America to sell my precious metals back to. I didn't limit myself just to the UK. I contact dealers that are in Germany. I've contacted dealers. Where was the other place I've contacted a dealer? I've contacted a Hong Kong dealer to sell my precious metals. It's becoming a smaller place and a lot easier to connect with individuals wherever they are in the world. So when I say go global, don't limit your sales and your options only to your state or to dealers that you've dealt with in the past. Going global, you may find one dealer may purchase or may not want what you have, but another dealer in another country definitely wants what you have. So with that tip in mind, it will also play a big role that you pick the right goods in terms of what a dealer may be interested in also. So as you've seen with my stack, a lot of my goods are catered for worldwide demand. So that would also play a big role when you're going global, but it's definitely an option a lot of people ain't looking at. And I'll touch on in some other tips how it can benefit you in the long run. So going global is going to be tip number 2 when it comes to selling your precious metals. So tip number 3 is going to be bookmark online dealers. And so when I say bookmark online dealers, you're going to want to bookmark as many coin dealers as you can come across. Now, I would say you want to bookmark a minimum of 10 online coin dealers. You don't want to limit yourself to only dealers that you either purchase from or you've sold to in the past. And especially with coin stores, online stores, a lot of people are under the impression where, as with LCSs, if you purchase the metals from the dealer from a local coin store, you get the loyalty system where they may tell you, I will purchase this said coin back off you for a certain price because you purchased it from us. Well, it's going to be a lot different with online stores. The majority of the stores that I've dealt with, or all of the stores I've dealt with, they don't really care whether you purchased it from them or not. You're selling what they're buying and what they're also selling, so they're going to give you the best price. So even if you don't buy from these stores, you definitely want to build up a list in your bookmarks of stores to contact when you do have a large list of goods to sell, as it's going to better your options in terms of selling your goods and getting the best prices. So I would say a minimum of 10 dealers that you want to look out for. If you've never done this before, go out. I mean, just off the top of my head, in the US, I know of personally Atmex, Provident Metals, JM Bullion. That's just a few. In the UK, you have your Atkinson's, Chards, Bullion by Post, and so forth. You want to store down and bookmark as many dealers as possible that you're able to contact when it comes time to sell your coins. So you don't need to have purchased from these guys, or you don't need to have sold from them. Sometimes, a lot of the dealers, you may find their prices are too steep. Now that could be a good thing depending if they also buy back at a high price and sell back at a high price. I've come across dealers that sell very handsome low prices, but they also buy on low prices. So it works both ways really. So you definitely want to bookmark and store as many dealers as possible. If you haven't done that, go ahead now. Don't wait till you need to sell. Just start building up a list of dealers that you're able to contact that sell and stock the coins that you have, and definitely that'll broaden and widen your chance of getting the best prices. So that's tip number 3. So tip number 4 is going to be to prepare a list. Now this is something I ended up doing after I'd contacted a number of dealers, and I know some people don't like talking on the phone. They're more accustomed to doing a lot of their business via email and so forth. So when I've contacted a load of dealers, sometimes it'll be just to, I believe it was with Atmex I've dealt with in the past, you can get through to somebody and you just either get the contact details for the individuals that take care of the selling and buying, or you can call up and get the person that's going to do the buying and selling there. Sometimes you'll be told to email a list, so just a heads up in advance, a tip. If you're selling more than one coin, if it's a collection of combination of collector coins and bullion coins, you want to get everything you've got in advance, jot it down on a list, and then email that out to all of the dealers also. So on top of calling them, which you've already done and established, whether you may need to contact them via email. So prepare a list and have that ready to ship out or send out to all of the dealers that you've bookmarked down and you've stored down. And that's just you being one step ahead. So that's going to be tip number 4. So tip number 5, I would say this is getting more down to the nitty gritty and not so important, but remember that you're selling to a coin dealer. So if you are selling collector pieces and you're contacting dealers and you have your price set in mind, try to take into account that you're selling to a dealer that's also going to resell that coin. Now, it doesn't mean you have to extremely take a lowball offer, but if you've seen a price on the secondary market, i.e. eBay or something, or you've seen that's what they sell for, remember the dealer's going to have to also sell it for that price. You don't know his overheads or anything, so try to take that into account. As if you were selling on eBay, you have to remember if it's a sold price you've seen, they've paid the fees on top of that. So try to be reasonable if you're asking or putting a price down when you're contacting these dealers, whether it's via email or phone call. Take that into account. You want to sell it for the best price for yourself to make a profit. Long story short, don't be greedy, just be sensible and just think of both of your needs, and it should go smoothly as long as you're reasonable and acceptable from there. So, try to remember that you're pricing and selling to a dealer. So that's tip number 5. And tip number 6, to wrap this up, is going to be try to negotiate shipping. Now, shipping can play a massive factor from the price that you receive. Now, especially if you're going global, if you're contacting a dealer, I don't know, for instance, if you're in the USA and you're sending it to Germany, shipping, I can tell you from experience, when I've gone for quotes for shipping, and this is to have your goods insured depending on how much you're sending, with a lot of the big retailers can cost anything from up to £150 sterling, that's up $200 odd, and that's having your goods insured. So a lot of these dealers either have contracts with these shipping companies where they get it at a much reduced rate, or they're able to write these off in taxes. So take that into account and remember that. So you're going to want to negotiate that. A lot of the dealers I've come across, have been very fortunate for myself, they've covered shipping. And so and I've dealt with a few dealers in the UK that won't cover shipping, and that's just their policy because they don't know what's in the box. They can't insure what they haven't seen, if you understand. So some dealers are more willing to either split, some dealers are more willing to pay for it. Some dealers, when they have their purchase forms, it's compulsory that they're already paying for it, or you may need to split it. But it's always best to negotiate the shipping in your favor, where you've got that covered also, because you're making savings there and it just works out a lot better for you in the end. So these are all tips when dealing with a dealer, because it makes it less, it's the safest way on top of dealing on the secondary market. You're not going to be able to get maximum profit. Now, you don't know, everybody's maximum profit's different. I've done deals with dealers before and been more than happy with the profits that I've received. So each individual is going to be different as into what they deem maximum profits and acceptable profits. So you definitely want to take all of that into account. So just to brush on them again, you're going to want to 1, shop around, 2, go global, 3, bookmark as many sites as you can, 4, prepare a list to email out to all online dealers that you can, 5, remember that you're selling to coin dealers, so price, if you are asking for price when it comes to collector coins or even your bullion coins, price them correctly and handsomely for the both of you. And 4, always negotiate shipping, because that can be a massive stinging factor, especially when you're taking insurance into account. So as I've explained, I've done all of my deals with dealers and they've worked in my favor, and it's been the most smoothest, safest route. So that's just the top 6 tips I would give on reselling your precious metals. Once again, if anybody can add to those, it'd be fantastic and great to see. So hate or love it, guys. Let me know what you think of that video. Go ahead and subscribe if you ain't done so already, and I'll catch you guys on the rebound.